Barcelona will win La Liga 25-26. And when Hokage speaks, you listen because about a year ago, I made that prediction. Barcelona will win La Liga 24-25. And some Barca fans told me in the comments, calm down. You don't know what you're talking about. Uh, don't hype us up too much. Don't set expectations too high. And I told a lot of Barca fans on YouTube, on Twitter, my Barca friends that I know online, on the Half Hopes Football Hut. Shout out HH. I was telling people there, Hansi Flick is going to absolutely demolish La Liga. He's going to make the league look like a joke. He's going to take this Barca team and produce some of the best, most dangerous attacking football you've ever seen, and he's going to be extremely successful. What happened? Dominated La Liga last year. Dominated La Liga. Was probably the most fun team to watch last season, this Barcelona side. And I was right about that. And this season, I just don't see how we don't get more of the same. We're going to get more of the same. This Barca team is going to continue playing at that high level. They're going to attack teams again, just like they were last season. And the reason I'm so confident that they will do it again is because nobody showed any signs last season that they're able to stop it. Nobody showed signs that they're able to stop it. Now, I understand, for example, in the Champions League semifinal, Inter beat them 7-6 on aggregate, but they didn't stop the attacking power. They still conceded 6 goals, supposed a defensively sound, top defensive team. Inter Milan conceded 6 to this Barcelona team. This Barcelona team is going to attack and pummel teams again this year, and it's really going to be easy. It's just what you're going to get with Hansi Flick football. And with the players he has in the team as well. I mean, you're looking at Lamine Yamal, Vinny Jr.'s daddy, Mbappe's daddy, Lamine Yamal. He's going to have another big season as he just keeps maturing and getting better and becoming more confident. Pedri is just, I'm telling you, is going to continue taking it up a notch and getting better. When he was already the best midfielder in Europe last season, he's going to get even better this season. Trust me on that. And the reason I also say that about Pedri is because, and in fact, we'll wait on that. We're going to go through the Barcelona team later on in this video, and I'm going to talk about where I see the strengths in this team. The Barca team isn't perfect. They do need to strengthen in 2 departments, in my opinion, but we'll get there. We'll get there when we talk about the squad in just a little bit. But anyway, I won't talk about individual players, but there's the attacking style of Hansi Flick. I don't see how anyone in La Liga is going to crack the code and figure it out now. I'm not saying they're going to go invincible. And last year, they didn't go invincible. I mean, Barcelona under Hansi Flick, from November to December, remember, they were struggling. They were struggling. They were having a difficult time winning games, and that's natural. But what happened after that? They just got right back into the groove, smashing teams 7 goals, 6 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals, circumcising, executing, fondling. They just did everything. They did every verb in the English dictionary to teams in La Liga last season. And yeah, I just didn't see any sign of them slowing down at the end of last year. And although, this is a prediction video and I'm predicting Barcelona win La Liga this season, and I understand that they've actually already played a game. And typically, if you make a prediction video, you're supposed to be unbiased. You're supposed to make the prediction before the competition starts. But I'm sorry, even though they beat Mallorca 3-0 in that first game, I'm not going based off that game. I'm going based off last season. I'm going based off the potential I knew this Barcelona team had once Hansi Flick arrived a year ago, 13, 14 months ago. And the momentum is just going to continue for Barcelona. The momentum is just going to continue for Barcelona. And I think the second big reason why I think Barcelona will win La Liga 25-26 is just lack of competition in the league. Lack of competition in the league. Really, it's going to be Real Madrid to be the only team to challenge them this year. I won't put Atleti in that pot. I won't put them in the contenders category because, and I understand I'm posting this video after Atletico Madrid's first game, but even before the league started, I'm telling you, I really wasn't putting Atleti in this La Liga Challengers spot because you ended up seeing in the first game of the season yesterday, they lost 2-1 to Espanyol. So they've already dropped 3 points. And this Barcelona team, the fixtures they have to begin La Liga, they're probably going to go undefeated for a couple months. I don't see this Barcelona team losing in La Liga for at least the next 7 to 8 match days. Honestly. And on top of that, you have Real Madrid, who I just don't think are going to be worthy challengers. Now, that can actually be a statement that backfires for me here a bit, because I say that mainly because I don't know what to expect from Real Madrid. I think I should put it that way. I shouldn't say they won't challenge. Even if Real Madrid does challenge and they improve and they put pressure on this Barcelona team this year, I'm still so confident Barcelona will win La Liga. But with Real Madrid, you don't know what you're going to get. I know, Xabi Alonso is coming in, and I rate Xabi Alonso so highly. As a Bundesliga fan, like what he did with that Leverkusen team in 2 years and what he did to have an undefeated season was just incredible. But my main concern with Real Madrid is how are they going to adapt in this first season with Xabi Alonso after a lot of these players played under Carlo Ancelotti the last 3-4 years. I could tell you right now, even though I'm not a professional and I haven't been in those dressing rooms, I think any football fan, any pundit, any expert, whatever, will tell you, I bet you Xabi Alonso is bringing into this Real Madrid dressing room a level of tactics, a level of attention to detail that Carlo Ancelotti did not bring for a couple of years. And I'm sure there'll be an adjustment period for these players to get to that level that Xabi Alonso wants them to. It's going to take time. And again, with Real Madrid, the big question mark outside of how this team will react to Xabi Alonso, his tactics, how will they take it on board? The other big question is the whole attacking mess. Is Rodrigo going to leave? How will Xabi Alonso crack the code to Vinny and Mbappe? Will Vinny have to be sold? All these questions. Will Arda Güler start? Who will be in the midfield? Will Jude Bellingham finally go back to being a true midfielder box-to-box role as he always was meant to be? Alongside, will it be Tchouaméni? Will it be Camavinga? How will Trent adapt? All these question marks. Dean Housen. Is it going to be Dean Housen-Rudiger? Dean Housen-Asensio? Center-back partnership? There's so many questions. There's so many questions with Real Madrid. And right now, I just don't see how all these questions are answered this season. And this is definitely going to be a season for Real Madrid where they have to pick up momentum, maybe take a deep run in the Champions League and maybe push Barcelona in the league. But I just don't see titles this season for Real Madrid. I don't see titles this season for Real Madrid. I don't. And that's another big reason why I think Barcelona will win the league this season. On top of the attacking power, the suffocating style, no one in La Liga can keep up consistently with that and figure out how to defend against this Barcelona team and properly counter them to consistently take points off of them. Now, will teams get wins and get draws off of Barcelona this season? Yes. But I think you saw last season, out of the times Barcelona dropped points in La Liga, I'm telling you, it was probably only one game, and I think it was the game against Osasuna in the first half of the season where they truly just got outplayed. In the other games in La Liga where Barcelona dropped points, most of the times it was because they created so many chances and they were just not putting the chances away. Just not being clinical enough. Not because they were bad, not because they were trash. They just weren't putting those chances away. In a lot of the games, they dropped points. So I just have so much faith in Hansi Flick. I mean, I think Hansi Flick is the GOAT club manager. And if he could do what, I genuinely thought they could win the treble last season. But if he could do that this season, in his second season, was still, you have to remember, such a young Barcelona team. Really, he's the GOAT club manager. He's the GOAT club manager. But anyway, after hitting on those points, I wanted to go through the squad because Barcelona's squad is interesting because there's a lot of players coming back from injury last year and a couple of key guys coming back from injury last year that weren't necessarily there consistently that I think are falling under the radar and will basically be like new signings for this team. But, starting in the goalie position, they have good depth here. I mean, Johan Garcia is coming in, and he's going to be the starting goalie now. He was probably the best goalie in La Liga last season. Let's be honest. So they basically signed the best goalie in the Liga last season. Barcelona have their guy in Joao Garcia. And then look at this depth. I mean, I know there was the whole drama at Barcelona the past month with Ter Stegen and the captaincy and all that. But it looks like Joao Garcia is going to be the number one. He'll at least play the most games out of the goalies. And then look at this depth. Wojciech Szczesny, Ter Stegen, Inaki Peña, who I feel like shut up a lot of doubters last year as well. Inaki Peña. In the absence of Ter Stegen, before they signed Chesney, he had a lot of big performances, and I think he earned the respect of a lot of Barcelona fans. But great center back depth. Great goalkeeper depth for Barcelona here. It's when we get to the defense. Now, the shocking news was I think it was 2 weeks ago now, Inigo Martinez, just shocking move to Al Nassr out of nowhere. I don't blame him. He's going for the paycheck to play with Cristiano and Coman and Sadio Mane and all those guys. But it was shocking because Inigo Martinez was the leader of this Barcelona defense last year. He was the leader. He stepped up and took over the position and role Ronald Araujo was supposed to have for Barcelona. He did. And he's gone now. And this is where I think Barcelona definitely need to be in the market for, which is a signing of a center back. Now, I don't think there's anyone on the market to come in and take over for that Inigo Martinez role. So, you're not going to get anyone on the market to come and be a starter, I think, for Barcelona. I think what you really need is a quality center back to come in and just serve as a body, serve as someone who could play back there in case of injury. Now, you're looking at the center back squad list right now, and you have Eric Garcia who could play center back, Ronald Araujo, Pau Cubarsí, Andres Christensen. You have technically 4 center backs. Jules Koundé can definitely play right center back for sure in a back 4. But the issue here is Pau Cubarsí is still 18. He's still 18. Now, I know he played an excellent season last year, but I wouldn't be surprised if something happens and Pau Cubarsí loses his confidence and he has a rough couple months. He's 18. We shouldn't put that out of reality. Ronald Araujo. A lot of Barcelona fans have lost that full trust they used to have in him. Andres Christensen is an injury-prone player. I wouldn't be surprised if Christensen gets injured instantly. You know what I mean? So Barcelona definitely need to buy a center back by the end of the window. I know, Jonathan Tah was a big target for them, and Bayern ended up getting his signature over Barcelona. But it seems that ever since they lost out to Tah, they weren't really even looking to bring another center back in. And now I feel like that might bite them in the ass a little bit by not looking for a center back all summer, especially after Inigo Martinez left, shockingly. So, by no means I'm saying the defense is bad for Barcelona. I mean, that there's still some decent depth here and a lot of quality players. I mean, Jules Koundé, amazing right back. Eric Garcia, I think he proved himself as a very valuable squad player for Barcelona last season. Hector Fort, I still need to see more. I don't know how Barcelona fans feel on him. Araujo, he's still a quality center back. He just doesn't have the trust of a lot of the Barca fan base that he used to. Cubarsí, going to be one of the best defenders of his generation. Great center back to have. Christensen is a great center back. He's top quality, but he's injury prone. And then at left back, I think the left back, you have Alejandro Balde, Gerard Martin. You have some good fullback depth. It's just I would really like to see Barcelona sign another center back going into the next season. And then you go into midfield, and it's just you have so much depth here. So much depth. Pedri, Marc Casado. Now, I know I saw reports that Barcelona wanted to sell Marc Casado, that he was up for sale. I just don't see why. I don't see how. He was excellent last year when he was playing alongside Pedri. He's really like another Gavi. Like, maybe a little less technical, but even then, like, he really was another Gavi, just high energy midfielder, getting tackles in, running up and down the field, just being like a rabid little energized chihuahua on steroids and cocaine. Marc Casado. I haven't seen more reports since he was supposedly put up for sale potentially this summer. But if they keep a hold of Marc Casado, great guy to have in there in the midfield. Romeo kind of forgot he existed. Frankie de Jong, Like I predicted, I think in my last year in my Barcelona will win La Liga video last year, I thought Frankie De Jong would really find himself on the Hansi Flick, and he did last season. He did. So Frankie De Jong, I'm looking to have another top season with Barcelona. Marc Bernal, he's back from his ACL injury fully, and he's had been in the full preseason for Barcelona. He's going to be another big player because remember with Gavi out at the beginning of the last season, with Marcasado not really getting his chance yet, Gavi was injured. It was Marc Bernal starting alongside Pedri in Barcelona's games to start last season. So all of a sudden, you're getting a guy who was starting starting 11 quality alongside Pedri last year. He's back from injury, and oh, guess what? He's only 18. Freaking ridiculous. So Marc Bernal, great player to have there. Gavi, he has been pretty much injury free this whole year. Gavi, quality player in there. Fermin Lopez, I feel like a lot of Barcelona players kind of hate on him or are hot and cold on him. I think he's a quality player. Dani Olmo, quality player. Although Dani Olmo is injury prone, and he proved that once again last year. Quality player, Dani Olmo. So in midfield, Barcelona's looking strong in midfield. And, I think Barcelona's looking really strong in midfield. I think there should be no worries if you're a Barcelona fan. And honestly, if Pedri gets injured, although this Barcelona team would struggle with a Pedri injury, as long as it's not a long-term thing, Pedri hasn't necessarily had a huge long-term injury in a while. Ever since Hansi Flick at least has came to the club, he's gotten stronger. He's avoided the injury. He's been consistently available. Even if he got a slight injury, you have enough quality here to deputize for him in the short term. And then in attack, you have Lamine Yamal, you have Rafinha, two Ballon d'Or candidates this year. They're going to have another great season. Rafinha is already scoring his goals again, scoring a goal in the opening game against Mallorca 2 days ago. Marcus Rashford, although his debut in La Liga was a little iffy off the bench, I still think he's going to come good for this Barca team. You have Ferran Torres, who, like Eric Garcia, he proved a lot of Barca fans and just general football fans wrong. He ended up being a pretty big time player for Barcelona last year. And then you have Lewandowski still here to bang in the goals. Now, I think I said Barcelona needs to strengthen in two departments at the beginning of this video. Center back is one of them. Defense is one of them. The other one is an attack. I do think they need to bring in another winger or someone who could play, who's a versatile player that could play winger, like someone like a Marcus Rashford who can play in the wing, who could play as a striker, who can play up top, basically, just an all-out forward. I do think Barcelona need to bring in someone. I do think so. Because Lewandowski, 36 years old now, getting injuries. Will Lewandowski still hit 20 goals this season? I'm confident about it. I'm confident Lewandowski will still score at least 20 goals for Barcelona in all comps. Honestly, that's a little disrespectful. I think he'll at least hit 25 to 30 goals in all competitions again for Barcelona this season. But you saw a lot of Barcelona fans were getting frustrated last year. He isn't 100% clinical. He will miss chances. What happens if Lamine Yamal gets injured? That's another question I wanted to pose. What happens if a Lamine Yamal or Rafinha gets injured? Where's the depth all of a sudden? So if I was to rank it on urgency, I think the most urgent position Barcelona need to bring players in is an attack. Now, they did sign Rooney from Copenhagen, Rooney Badji, I think it is. They did sign him. I didn't see him in the match day squad against Mallorca, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he'll play some games with the youth team, or he just didn't get selected, or he's injured. I don't know, but they did sign Rooney Badji, a guy I think is a quality little player that they got from Copenhagen. But still, he's very young. He's very raw. I feel like Barcelona need to bring in an established European experience, Champions League experience player into this attack before the transfer window ends. But even then, I mean, the squad is strong. Hansi Flick is coming to dominate La Liga again. Real Madrid just won't. I just don't think there's too many question marks for Real Madrid to answer in one season for them to compete with Barcelona this year. Barcelona will win La Liga 25-26. I'm fairly confident about it. And you should listen to me because I said it last year when a lot of Barcelona fans were skeptical, and they ended up winning it, and they won that shit in style, playing beautiful, beautiful football on the way. So it's been your boy Hokage. Barcelona will win 25-26. Lamine Yamal, Vinny Jr.'s daddy, Mbappe's daddy, will have another great season. And yeah, It's been your boy Hokage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.